Hey everyone, welcome back to the b8ta TV studio for another live episode of b8ta Insider. Here at b8ta, you guys know we love a good fresh face Friday. So today we are talking all about Romer skincare, which I have the products here with me. But not only are we going to be talking about the products, we're actually going to be joined by the founder of Romer herself, Lauren Rome. She's coming to us live from Chicago. She's going to tell us all about how she started the company, also tell us more about her skincare journey. She's not only absolutely brilliant, but she is completely 100% committed to education, transparency, and effectiveness of her clean beauty line, Romer Skincare. So let's bring her in now to the conversation. Joining me live from Chicago is Lauren Rome. Lauren, it is so good to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. Fun to be on, talking to you guys at b8ta.
Yeah, how are you managing to stay warm in Chicago? I know it's pretty cold out there.
It is cold. I think we hit a high of maybe 16 degrees here in
Oh my
Chicago.
gosh.
So I was just sipping on a little bit of bone broth prior to coming on to stay warm. And I'm not going to be doing too much outdoor walking outside, unfortunately, with the dog later because it's just a little chilly.
It's too cold, yeah. Well, you look fabulous and you look
Thank
warm
you.
and cozy. I know you're
Thank
joining
you.
us from your bathroom. Can't wait to kind of get into the details of the products here. But to start off, I would love to ask you what inspired you to create the Romer skincare line?
Sure. So I have a very unconventional background as it got me to beauty. I come from a 10-year career on Wall Street, which you ask yourself and scratch your head, okay, how did you possibly leave that world and then do a complete 180 and start a skincare line? But nevertheless, here we are. I really struggled with my skin for many years. And at some point during my career, when I was working very long hours, I felt that my skin hit its breaking point and realized that it really wasn't just my problem. At the time, I was traveling back and forth from New York to Chicago. And my then boyfriend, now husband, also was trying to look and feel his best. And I realized it was also his problem as well. So lo and behold, I started digging around for answers. I had a bathroom overflowing with products, which I'm sure there are people out there that can relate, drawers and cabinets full. And then, I started trying to find, okay, how can I get better skin? What is it about beauty products that makes them effective? I spoke to a lot of dermatologists. I spoke and did a lot of research at those storefronts that we all know and love. And I realized that the two biggest ways to get better skin were simple ingredients and consistency. And so I said, there seems to be some white space. Why is there not this line that can be shared by both me and my then boyfriend? And I decided to go out and build it. So I've built Romer, which is a 3-step, gender-neutral, clean skincare line that can be shared regardless of gender.
Mm-hmm. Well, Lauren, I am so glad that you left Wall Street to bring us Romer skincare because just, in a very short amount of time of using it personally, I've noticed a complete change in the texture of my skin. And I'm excited to talk more about how you were able to achieve such effectiveness in the products with the ingredients. But tell me a little bit more about clean beauty, kind of what it means to you. I know it's a term that's sort of thrown out there a lot nowadays. How is Romer redefining the term clean beauty?
This one is a big topic, and every brand out there, every retailer, different certification bodies, they all have their own definition of what clean beauty means.
Right.
And I think the most important part of what's happening in today's consumer society is that people are understanding that clean is good, and wanting to find clean products is important. It's important for our skin. It's important for the environment. And I think to take a step back, we at Romer decided to create our own definition of clean. Mm-hmm. And clean for us is not only the ingredients that you put on your skin, because our skin is our body's largest organ. So what you put on your skin, unfortunately, and eventually gets absorbed into the bloodstream. So it's important that what you put on your skin is clean, but also that the ingredients, both on the procurement side, so if something is mined or farmed that's in the bottle, that's done from a clean perspective, and then also that when it hits our landfills or hits our waterways, it's also deemed clean so as not to hurt the environment and the landscape. And so I think what we did as a brand is decide that all aspects of the supply chain, from the beginning piece of ingredient sourcing all the way to how we get to the customer, and then how we take those dollars from the customer and then reinvest those dollars in the environment and in clean initiatives, are all part of the clean story. And so there's a lot here to unpack as far as clean goes. I think there are standards that the EU has that unfortunately the US is a little farther behind as far as banned ingredients for many of those reasons that I just named. But we can do a really good job, and there are brands out there who hold themselves to their own accountability standards like we do at Romer.
Right. I mean, I'm just amazed at how much you have managed to learn and to put into practice with creating Romer Skincare. And I mean, you're coming up on just a year shy, right? Celebrating, or just, excuse me, a week shy of celebrating your 1-year anniversary of starting the company.
That's right. It took a year of research and development, and then we launched in February of last year, right before this global pandemic, and right on my birthday. So we're coming up on my birthday too. But it was an exciting 2 years. It was an exciting year developing the formulas and developing the products. A lot of thought went into what went into the bottle and why. And then also, we spent a lot of time testing, making sure that we could claim that the products work on all skin types, both genders, and many backgrounds. Mm-hmm. And it's been an exciting year post-launch, now that we've have almost a year under our belt of really hearing from customers and hearing the feedback that the 3 products, and it's very simple, just 3 products, have transformed people's skin.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I just said, I mean, I am absolutely obsessed. And I mean, it's amazing to me, I think, how just something so simple can be so effective. And again, like you said, it's just a 3-step regimen. So let's kind of get into that. Can you kind of break it down for me?
Sure. So I'll start with the first product of the line, which I also have in front of me too. The first product is our gel oil cleanser. It has an aloe base. So the reason why we feel this cleanser is super powerful is because a lot of cleansers, if you look at the ingredients on the back of the label, the first ingredient you will see is water. And that's traditional of a lot of skincare products. Right. But our cleanser, we use this really beautiful organic aloe juice, which is so soothing and hydrating to the skin, so that when you're cleansing in the morning after a night's sleep or right before you go to bed to take off makeup, you have this hydrating cleansing feeling as opposed to a stripping cleansing feeling. Mm-hmm. And that's a theme throughout the entire line. As someone with combination skin myself, I wanted to make sure that in places I was dry, I was getting that moisture. And in places where I was more oily, I still had that oil control. And so that's what a lot of the ingredients in this cleanser do. The main ingredients that we call out on the front are Manuka honey, which is a powerful honey created from a specific area of New Zealand that's packed with antibacterial soothing properties, a calendula oil, caffeine, coffee extract, and tea tree oil. And there's some other things in here like evening primrose, as well as a few other ingredients like the aloe I mentioned earlier that isn't even on the front of our pack, but it's an important part of what's in the bottle. So the way the cleanser is meant to be used is one pump onto your hands. You can do it wet or dry. I like to wet my face first. I lather it up in my hands, and it's a gel oil because of the aloe juice, but it produces a foam upon contact with water. And that feels really nice and clean when it hits your skin. So meant to be cleansed for 30 to 45 seconds. And then you rinse with warm water and pat to dry.
Amazing. And takes off a full face of makeup.
Yeah. For men, it's great because it's as easy to use as shampooing. You just pump when you're in the shower and you can wash your face fast. Right. But for women, it's powerful because you don't need a second or third cleanse. This does it all in just one cleanser.
And I know so many, it's like for women, a lot of us, I think, tend to steal our boyfriends or husbands' razors. And the guys tend to steal our skincare, but this is for both of us.
That's right. That's right. It's meant to be accessible, and the scent is also one where it feels really refreshing. It's not too floral. It's more of a rosemary mint, which was important to us. It took a long time to get the scent right, but no fragrance. It's all from real natural essential oils that are non-irritating to the skin.
Yeah, I love the smell. What is next in our lineup?
Next in the lineup is the moisturizer.
Yes.
So this is meant to be used day and night. It's a lightweight moisturizer. The main ingredients in here are shea butter, which is really nice, healing, and soothing. It has oleic, palmitic, and stearic acids. So it's a great ingredient for moisturization. There's also a bunch of seed oils in this product as well. Jojoba oil, grapeseed oil, rosemary leaf oil, all help regenerate, soothes without clogging pores, has antioxidant capabilities. And then, of course, the buzzy ingredient that everyone knows and loves, hyaluronic acid, which, of course, holds 1,000 times its water weight. So it really restores hydration, guards against that moisture loss by locking in moisture.
Yeah, and that's good for skin elasticity too.
That's right. Yeah. And the reason I love this moisturizer, I just put it on my hands.
Yeah. So did I.
It doesn't pill. So something that really bothers me about moisturizers, sometimes when you want to put them under makeup, if they're too thick or heavy, they have that grainy feeling to them. And we wanted our moisturizer to go on smooth, to be a nice, easy put on, go all day about your day. And then at night too, to the extent you need that boost of moisture after you cleanse your face, you can just put it on and it just melts right into the skin.
Yeah. Love it. Love that it follows right after the cleanser twice a day.
Yep, very easy to use. We wanted to make this foolproof, even for the guy out there who's still washing his face with a bar of soap. We're going to convert him.
Yes. And what is last but not least?
Last but not least is our, I think, hero SKU. So this is the CBD infused treatment mask.
Yes.
It is
so good, Lauren.
Thank you. This one really packs a punch. You thought the other two pack a punch, but this one really packs the biggest punch.
Yeah.
It is obviously CBD infused. It has a bunch of exciting ingredients in it, including niacinamide, prickly pear seed oil, squalane, bakuchiol, which is a natural retinol, and then last but not least, our CBD. I think that the reason I love the night treatment the most, I use it overnight, but you can also use it, like you said before, Noelle, you've used it for that 5-minute quick boost. But I think what it really does, it helps soothe dull skin. For anyone who has irritation, this is going to help heal it right up. It strengthens the skin's barrier. So CBD is really powerful too because it's anti-inflammatory. And then also it's combating wrinkles and the signs of aging that we all feel like we want to help with as we're getting older and as there's a lot of stress in our lives, just given what's happening in the world. So this one's really soothing and really nice. Nice to put on before bed. It has a beautiful scent to it, which we really love. We've talked about that. And it's a whipped texture, so it comes on a little thicker than the moisturizer, but it also does deeply nourish the skin.
Yeah, a little, I think, goes a long way on this one, definitely. And tell me a little bit more, I mean, because that's another, CBD is an ingredient I think we're seeing all over the skincare shelves nowadays. Why did you choose CBD for the treatment mask?
Sure. So CBD, as we know, it's a naturally occurring compound that's found in our hemp plant, Cannabis sativa. It's non-psychoactive, and that's really important, especially as you're thinking about, for people who are ingesting it, it's crucial to understand if there are psychoactive effects or not. But topically, people also want to know, does this contain any THC? And the answer is wholeheartedly no THC, and we have that tested by a third-party lab to ensure its potency and also proof that there's nothing nefarious going on. But really, why I love the ingredient is that it contains omega fatty acids, a lot of vitamin E, which really does a good job of nourishing and soothing. And that is an ingredient that I don't think you necessarily need in all of your skincare products, but I think it is good to incorporate it topically into some products. And that's why, as a brand, every decision we made, we didn't want to compromise the efficacy. So if we said aloe should go in our cleanser, there was a reason for it. And the same applies for our CBD infused night mask. We're not a CBD brand by any means, but we love having CBD in this product because we think it has enormous benefits.
And Lauren, tell me a little bit. So, I mean, you're in Chicago, right? You're in Chicago, freezing. I'm in San Francisco. We've had quite a bit of rain, but actually we're getting a lot of sunshine. So we're both in very different climates using the same products, though. So, I mean, was it difficult to create something that's not only for all skin types, but can be used sort of in all climates?
When we went through the process of deciding how we were going to create the line and then also market the line to people out there, to consumers, we wanted to make sure that the line could fit into people who have active lifestyles, whether that's outside or it's because they are racing around like I was, working a million hours a day in my whole life. And so I think what is unique about Romer is that we created this really pared down approach to a skincare routine. We wanted to make it super simple and that it could work across different types of environments, but have a similar common goal, which is just achieving better skin. Don't we want that, the irritation-free, hydrated so that you're not dry and flaky, soothe and also prevent breakouts and blemishes. And I think that's what we've accomplished with a line that can be used across states.
Yeah, right. And in all different seasons. So you're not necessarily going to have to add a thicker moisturizer when it's super cold, or, exfoliate more if you're someone who tends to get more oily and the summer months come along and you feel like you're super oily. I mean, this is going to keep you hydrated, like you said, but also incredibly balanced. And I'm glad you brought up acne because we've both struggled with acne. And I mean, I think so many of us, even if you've never struggled with acne in your life, it's like 2020 came along and the maskne started. And it didn't stop. It's not stopped yet. So the approach, I feel like, has really sort of historically been to strip your skin using ingredients like, benzyl peroxide and salicylic acid, and to really even, over exfoliate. So tell me why that approach is not right for battling breakouts.
So I'm obviously not a dermatologist. However, we have a brand ambassador of Romer who is Dr. Marissa Garshik. She works in Manhattan, and she has given us a lot of insight into battling these types of skin conditions. and what the best approach is for them. Maskne is no joke. It's real. It's here.
Yes.
And the reason for it, for those who've not really heard the term, or maybe you have and you're like, what is that again? It really relates to the friction and the occlusive nature that causes irritation, inflammation, and breakouts underneath our mask. And the reason it happens is because of increased moisture. So dermatologists are all seeing a lot more cases spiking of these types of problems, a lot due to wearing masks. And there's also, they're seeing more eczema, they're seeing more contact dermatitis, a lot of these other problems that arise from friction. But the one that I think a lot of us are facing is the maskne, is the breakouts.
Right.
And what she claims to really work well is utilizing a gentle routine that won't clog pores and make breakouts even worse. And so some of the problems with these active ingredients, and a lot of them are very effective. They can be used, salicylic acid, benzyl peroxide, any of those ingredients can be used to really treat those issues. But on a routine basis, if you're talking about consistently trying to improve the health of your skin, oftentimes using too much of those active ingredients can just make things worse. And so her approach is to not only just wash your masks regularly, or use disposable ones if your skin can handle the disposable ones and doesn't get irritated. Also, of course, see a dermatologist if you have some of these problems arise. But if you're looking to course correct on your own, which a lot of us are, introduce gentle products with simple ingredients that do a great job of helping not to clog pores, and really help hydrate the skin, nourish the skin to reduce breakouts and inflammation.
Right. Yes. The other thing that I love about Romer is that I think of it sort of as home base. It's like, this is what I will always come back to. This is my 3 steps that I will never compromise on, every single day. But if you're someone who does love skincare, or if you have maybe a holy grail product, a retinol, a serum, something out there, I mean, you can still feel free to use that, I think, in the regimen. But this is the staple. Like, this is what you always will come back to.
So my team is full of skincare junkies, and we all have brands that we love, that are beloved to us, that each one has their own specialty product outside of Romer. Mine currently right now is this beautiful butt mask by a CBD butt mask brand called Body Beauty. But anyway, so we all have our own products that we layer in on top of our skincare line. And so I think there's plenty of ways to use a core regimen like ours, a 3-step. And then on top of that, I put on an SPF every day because my line doesn't have SPF, but of course I want to protect my skin from the sun's rays. So there's plenty of other products out there. We're not saying only use Romer and nothing else, but there are plenty of other products out there that you can use as a complement.
Yeah, definitely. So you can, for the guys out there, like you mentioned, they're probably going to want to keep it pretty simple. And tell me why it was, so important for you to create a line for both, men and women.
Yes. So like I said, from my own experience, I felt that there was a gap and there weren't a lot of products that were shared, regardless of gender. And I think what we're seeing, this new definition of beauty in today's world, it can take on its own meaning. It doesn't have to be what we think of, these beautiful pink products that smell really flowery and are really designed and geared towards that high-end female customer. I think it's beauty can be accessible, it can be attainable, and it can be for everyone, regardless of how you define yourself. And I love that, we created products that just work for both types. I'm seeing so many different use cases for Romer, in addition to the ones we just described for the face and for the neck. Men are using this as an aftershave balm. Women are using this after sun exposure on different various parts of their body to help soothe the skin. The cleanser, people are using it as a body wash. So it's fun to hear different use cases of the products where, since they're so good and effective on their own, they can kind of be streamlined into all these different places. And I think that the biggest thing around simplicity and around them being gender neutral is that we want to eliminate as much confusion and hassle around making decisions. I get anxiety every time I walk into my corner drugstore.
Yes.
And I see so many products on the shelves.
Yes.
And even just for example, in the toothpaste aisle, the same brand of toothpaste, there's 100 different variations of it.
Right.
And so I think if someone can take out that noise for me and say, here are 3 products you can trust, they work, they're fantastic, they're vetted, they're clean, they're cruelty-free, whatever it is, whatever your, buzzwords and concerns and values are, that's an awesome thing. And so that's really why we focused on making sure that the line could be used across all.
Yeah, right. And like you said, you don't have to throw out everything that you have, that maybe you've curated your own sort of skincare medicine cabinet, just how you like it. But it's really the consistency that's going to get you those results, and not necessarily any of those, lotions and potions that you're maybe using once or twice a week, although that will help. But it's great to have just a core, 3 products that you're consistently using. I have to tell you, I want to paint my whole entire house this color. Tell me about how you landed on sort of this aesthetic for the brand.
So it's so funny. I remember looking through, especially now that we're doing a highlight reel on the beginning stages of coming up with Romer and all the different decisions that we made. And I was going through a Pantone book of all the colors and the branding and the logo and the fonts. And I just wanted something that screamed stress-free and clean and refreshing. And I think this gray-green just spoke to me. And I didn't even care that there were no products on the shelves of the stores I shopped at that had this color. And I just went for it. And I think it paid off because we do get a lot of nice comments and feedback on our aesthetic. I think that it's not an eyesore when it's on your shelfie. So we do get a lot of really nice shelfies. We like to see them from our customers.
Yeah, definitely. And also, again, just talking about sort of gender neutrality, this is, I think, a color that's sort of in between the masculine and feminine, kind of rides that line. It's just beautiful. Can you tell me what the name of this color is? Do you know the name?
We don't really have a name for it. We call it Romer Sage Green.
Oh my gosh, okay.
And the packaging is special to me. I care a lot about this because plastic is a really tough substance for the beauty industry. And I cringe every time I even say the word, but we did use recycled plastic to make all of our bottles and tubes. We feel really proud about that. It's not perfect. We're not perfect. We're always trying to make strides to even be better from a sustainability and responsibility perspective, but and hopefully more to come. Hopefully we'll remove the springs out of the pumps eventually, so everything just gets so much more recyclable. But we feel good that at least we're using recycled materials in these bottles.
Yeah,
one step in the right direction.
Definitely. I love that. Personally love that. And speaking about what's to come, is there anything else you can share about sort of the future of Romer and what we can expect from the line?
Yeah, so I think you'll see us pop up in a lot more places this year. We are focused on building a community. We love hearing customer testimonials and feedback about how we've really helped improve people's routines, given partners the ability to connect in the bathroom, which I'm literally in my bathroom because it's where I spend a lot of my free time. But hopefully maybe some product expansion, although we want to keep it fairly simple. So I don't think you'll be seeing a lot of variations, but hopefully some cool things down the pipeline.
Amazing. Well, Lauren, thank you so much for joining me today. Again, I am just truly can't even tell you how grateful I am that you've introduced me to Romer skincare. And like I said, I mean, it's just completely transformed the texture of my skin, and I cannot wait to use it for many, many years to come. So thank you so much for joining me today. And thank you all for watching. We have Romer skincare available, all 3 products on b8ta.com. Go there now because there's a promotional sale going on there, 15% off all 3 products on b8ta.com. You can also head over to Romer's website, which is romerskincare.com, to get the complete kit all together. We will see you guys again next week for more episodes of b8ta Insider, b8ta Unboxed, and You Need This here at b8ta TV. Thank you all for joining me, and have a great weekend.